Whatever is active in your energy field is what you are attracting into your life. So if you have normalized having toxic people in your life, you will find that they end up being attracted into your life because it is normal. It is something your nervous system is used to. If you have found it, quote unquote, normal to attract or to block out love from coming into your life, then you will find yourself in situations where maybe people don't choose you or you feel like you're not good enough, and therefore will get a result and a reflection in your life that reflects that back to you. If you will find that you have trouble being in your own frame of reality or feeling safe inside of your own body, you may find yourself tuning to other people and feeling like you need to fix other people or you need to modify yourself to make other people happy. This all comes as a result of your nervous system, of the energy around your body and within your body. And when you learn how to regulate your nervous system, you will find that everything in your life begins to work out in a much more clear way. I think very often when people feel stuck, it's their nervous system is chaotic. And by nervous system, I mean whether they feel regulated or not, or reactive to the environment, reactive to situations that are happening in their life. And what's interesting is when you begin to regulate your nervous system and you begin to focus on it, all the things in the external begin to work out. So if you regulate your nervous system, you may find that then you feel less stuck. You may find that you are more magnetic and there are more people that are attracted to you because your energy is more grounded. You may find you get more job opportunities. You get more synchronicities that pop into your life, all as a reflection of a regulated nervous system. Now, on the other side of the coin here, you will repel the people and the toxic energy from your past that no longer resonates with the regulated nervous system you've been acquiring or you've been embodying. There have been times in my past where I began regulating my nervous system, let go of old patterns, and then people literally within days leave my life as a reflection of the new upgrade of energy. Now, the reason this video has been inspired is because I recently made a move from Austin, Texas to LA. This is Los Angeles. And when coming here, there were a lot of moves I made, and I want to share some of those with you and how it completely changed my energy field, but also how my lifestyle over here in California has completely changed my energy. I got on a call yesterday with my shadow work integration coach, which is someone I go to every week. And she helps me look at different aspects of my shadow, different blind spots I might have. And I can just kind of integrate and talk through some of the things that I'm working through. And I've been going to her for about 8 months now, probably. And she's seen me when I'm traveling, seen me when I've been in Austin, going to Costa Rica, coming back, all these different things I've been integrating. And one of the first things she said to me yesterday when I got on the call with her, she goes, wow, there's a lot of space in your energy. There's something very different about your energy field than I've ever seen over the last 8 months we've been working together. And I thought about it, and I was like, interesting. I wonder what exactly that was. And we looked into it. And part of it was when I was in Austin, one of the things I did is I let go of a lot of things physically that were in my life. I mean, literally a storage unit full of things from Vegas. When I first moved to Austin, I moved a whole bunch of things from my Vegas place into storage. And then I downsized, so I kind of got different things and left everything in storage for 2.5 years, maybe 3 years. So I had a whole storage unit full of things, and then I was moving out of a house that I was renting, and I was moving things into storage from that house because then I was going to travel and come here. Well, what I decided to do instead was to get rid of 85% of everything I own because I realized that having a lot of materialistic things becomes a burden, becomes an anchor. And there was just this pattern of holding on to things because they're quote unquote valuable. But that ended up feeling like a burden. So what I did is I got rid of everything in one of my storage units. only kept 2 boxes. And then in the one that was there forever, so that kind of opened up some space. I was like, oh. Then instead of packing everything and moving it into storage, I packed like 5 boxes and then gave away and donated everything else. And it was I gained freedom out of that. I started to feel more free. All of these things also that had certain associations to different people, the different times of my life. It's like I was letting go of that. Now, in tandem with this, there were certain things that came up in my life where I started to look at certain relationships, certain patterns. And there was a purging of physical things, but there was also a purging of a certain energy that was in my life for a very long time. I think it was and believe it was an echo of the ex-stepmom energy, of the unpredictable kind of control energy. It was in my life till I was 17, and then my dad divorced my ex-stepmom. Then I attracted managers or ex-girlfriends that had that energy. And then after every layer, every person that I would then eventually clear out of my life or no longer resonate with, it's like there'd be another version of that would come in that was maybe a little bit less overt, but a little bit more covert. And basically what happened is the same week I go to Austin. Basically what I did is I came to LA for 2 weeks, and I had a tattoo appointment and things to do. And then I went back to Austin for a week just to move and to get everything closed down, that chapter. And then I came back here. And it was just the same Airbnb that I'm in. And when I went back there, that's when I also, as I'm purging these things out of my life, physical things and letting go of things, donating things, I'm also letting go of old relationship that fell out of alignment. And what I started to realize was that as I was coming to LA, one, there's more of a creative energy here. I'm not saying everyone come to LA. I'm saying you got to find what works for your nervous system. And right now, for the next couple months at least, because I also like the idea of traveling more, being in the unknown, stepping into uncertainty. But it's very creative here. And part of it as well is my lifestyle has changed in a way to where I am outside way, way more than I was when I was in Austin. Even though Austin has a great outdoor lifestyle, what I realized is June, July, August every year, it was very hot, where you don't even really go outside because it's that hot and humid. And then in like November, December, January, it's cold and nobody really goes outside. So I'm like, why am I here so much when I could be traveling? And what happened is my nightly routine in Austin was kind of like eventually I'd be watching Netflix. I'd be on my phone a lot. I'd be on like this island of a house in the middle outside the city a little bit. And being here off the beach, close to the beach here in LA, one of the things I realized is now I go for a like 10-mile bike ride for sunset every day, which is an easy bike ride. It's nothing crazy. 10 miles sounds like a lot, but it's just a very smooth bike ride with the sunset. I go surfing 3 to 4 times a week for like an hour, hour and a half, and I love it. I fell in love with surfing recently. When I went to Costa Rica, I just loved it so much that I came back here. Now it's part of my lifestyle. I go to the gym, and it's a really nice gym out here that I really enjoy. It's a really big gym. So it's like I have this lifestyle where I'm not on my phone as much, and also I'm not watching nearly as much Netflix because I'm outside, and the weather is so nice out here. Now, the reason I share this is because as I've also been regulating my nervous system more by doing these things outside, I noticed there's a different magnetic quality with my energy. I noticed that I'm more magnetic when people meet me. I can tell that there's just a different effect that I have. There's new synchronicities and opportunities coming into my life. There's more of an attraction from people that I meet. It's like, I'm like, what is so different about my energy from just a month ago till now, to where there's all these like options, there's all these new synchronicities, new opportunities, new business opportunities. What is it? And what I boiled it down to is I'm like, my nervous system has been more regulated than it has ever been. I feel more confident in my own frame. I feel more present in my own body. I'm not so much doing things. Like, think about what happens when you're in your phone constantly. It's affecting your energy field. It's like you're maybe comparing yourself on Instagram. You're looking at these different things. And what it ends up doing is it ends up, in a way, making, you end up feeling maybe different emotions and it's in your energy field, and then you attract into your life people that resonate with that energy. But it's like the more you're focused on your own frame and the more that you are doing things that you love, the more you find that like you keep upgrading your energy more and more. I'm also rereading a book right now that's called The Big Leap. The Big Leap is a book by Gay Hendricks, and it talks about this thing called the upper limit problem. Now, the upper limit problem is almost like your vibrational set point. It's like we all have a certain vibrational set point that is our natural vibration where it feels normal for us to feel certain emotions. So some of our vibrational set point might be to feel maybe it's guilt or anger or feeling alone. And then what happens is subconsciously we sabotage ourselves because those are the familiarized emotions. So we keep attracting situations into our life where we attract the feeling or synchronicity of being alone, or the feeling of feeling guilt, like I can't set boundaries, or I feel responsible for other people's emotions. That keeps getting evoked because it's the set point. And what happens is when you start to increase your set point, there's a part of you that might self-sabotage yourself that brings you back down to where you are. So it might subconsciously do something weird, say the wrong thing, and it's this upper limit problem where it brings us back down to the familiar. And what I can tell is happening in my life right now is I'm actually increasing my vibrational set point, my upper limit problem, and feeling more bliss, more love, and it's making me look at my life differently to where I'm seeing, is what I'm doing in the way that I'm doing it really the most passionate way for me to do it? Because you've probably heard me talk on this channel before about just kind of like, there's been times I recreate my 9-to-5 job within my life over and over again, and then I have dreams about it even, which is like my subconscious reflection that I'm still kind of caught in this loop where I have dreams where I'm like in my 9-to-5 job, and then I realize I'm a full-time YouTuber with like, you know, abundance, and I don't have to be there anymore, but yet I'm still there. And then I can tell in my own life, there's times where I'm like, I got to make 3 videos a week. I got to set there's like a certain pressure I put on myself. And then it's like I'm still in the machine of doing things that maybe aren't the most passionate way to do things, where I'm like, how could I step outside of my comfort zone more? And not just comfort zone, but how could I be more passionate about what I am doing? And I've realized that doing, you've heard me say it, doing even smaller live events with more intimate live events, but having people to pull information out of me is I'm more passionate about. I go live a lot on Instagram because of this than me just talking to a camera. And I'm like, how can I create the zone of genius, which is what it talks about in that book, The Upper Limit Problem on The Big Leap. You want to be in your zone of genius, doing the things that you're really passionate about that really gives you a lot of fulfillment and meaning. So maybe YouTube for me is my zone of excellence, which is tricky because in the zone of excellence, you're good at those things, but they're not ultimately as fulfilling as a different way to do it. For me, running live events is that next thing. It's the thing that elevates my vibration. Even going on podcasts for me, that's why I'm sitting down in this episode. I feel like there's a different energy when I'm sitting down than when I'm standing up. And it's almost like I need change. I need to switch it up. And as I'm regulating my nervous system, I'm becoming more clear on what my zone of genius is and how I could more so follow that feeling. Because the feeling is the energetic state that brings new opportunities, new synchronicities, and new people into my life. So this is something I'm looking at. How can I continue to create videos? Maybe it's going on more podcasts. Maybe it's doing some type of podcast style, having people pull information out of me, do live events, whether it's bigger live events or smaller live events, but have it in a different context, a different way that also pulls out that zone of genius of that fun, because I find that I don't know where the information comes from when I'm in front of a group of people versus sometimes talking to a camera. It's a little different. And I've done it so much that maybe, anything you do a lot over time, you can get better at it, but also it can become a little bit more certain. It can become a little boring after a while. Imagine making 2,000 YouTube videos. Well, I've done that. Literally. If you go on my channel, I've probably made over 2,000 YouTube videos. And there's different ways of bringing out that information that's more exciting. Now, another thing I want to talk about for a moment is within the last couple months, part of regulating my nervous system was I let go of substances. Now, I took a little break also from plant medicine. Plant medicine is something I do a couple times a year. We run ayahuasca ceremony. My friend Victor and Patty, we run ayahuasca ceremonies in Costa Rica. We don't run them. We bring the people, and we have shaman that have been doing it for over 20 years. And in Costa Rica, it's legal to do, and there's like a safe space, and it's awesome. We've done 13 of them now over the last 4 years. And even with that, now we've tapered that down. We used to do 2 or 3 a year. Now we just do 1 a year. And I don't even always drink. I've been taking a break from even doing ayahuasca, even though it can be so powerful and transformative. I've been feeling a call not to do that. I don't do hape. It's this tobacco that I used to do. For 2-3 years, I did this tobacco stuff that goes up the nose. It's actually looks kind of intense if you've never seen it done before. But cold turkey, a couple months ago, stopped doing it. I then also stopped, don't smoke. I haven't smoked weed since 2012, really. Maybe a couple times here and there. I had an ex-girlfriend that used to smoke, and every now and then I would do it. But I don't smoke. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do cigarettes. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying, though, that I do believe that your highest vibrational you is void of substances that you feel dependent on. A lot of times, substances can mask certain emotions being felt. After I went through the withdrawals, for a week or two of being off of that hape, the tobacco, I started to feel more normal again. Now I couldn't even imagine doing it. Now I surf, do bike rides, work out, eat healthy food. I feel like my life is so enriched by not doing any of this. And also, there's kind of like a badass feeling, not like a superiority where I'm like, I'm better than everyone because I don't do anything. But when you're completely sober and you're not smoking, you're not drinking or anything, you really are kind of in the minority nowadays. It seems like everybody does something. So it's almost like it gives you that mental edge. Like when people say, oh, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes a lot of really successful people get up really early because they gives them that mental edge where they know their competition is sleeping, right? Maybe it's like you can still sleep in and be successful, Aaron. I get it. I'm just saying there is a feeling where you're like, there's a badass feeling that comes with if there was ever a zombie apocalypse and you didn't have access to all of these substances, you'd be fine. You wouldn't go through withdrawals or anything. You'd still be mentally sharp and you'd survive. Kind of a badass feeling. But one thing I believe is that for people to become their highest vibrational, most regulated versions of themselves, I think that being reliant on substances is a distraction. And I believe that you are at your best, you are at your peak, you are at your highest vibrational self when you are not smoking, drinking, or doing those substances that are recreational, with that intention. So I say that because I believe that the new opportunities, the new synchronicities, new clarity, everything coming into my life, I believe is coming into my life right now because I am regulating my nervous system. Now, also, in case you are interested, we are running our only plant medicine retreat of the year. It's ayahuasca. It's 3 nights of ayahuasca. It's with shaman that have been doing it for over 20 years. We've worked with him 12 or 13 times now in Costa Rica. It's in January. I'll go ahead and post the link below. If you're interested, you can apply. There is an application process for this. It doesn't involve getting on the phone to be accepted. You can't be on certain medications and stuff like that. And we want to make sure it's really a safe space. So if that is interesting to you, you can go ahead and click the link below. It's not for everybody. I will say that as well. But if you do feel a calling or guided, you can check that out. And then also something else I do have is somatic release breathwork is something I'm certified in. It's a free 1.5 hour long breathwork ceremony for releasing the energy that's stored inside of your body. If you want to check that out, I have a $1,000 course for free called High Vibe 101. It's in my free High Vibe community called High Vibe Tribe. You can click it below. Go ahead and listen to that. Go through that breathwork ceremony. Watch how it brings stuff up inside of you and how free you feel afterwards. So I'll go ahead and link that right here.